So I'll be honest, this is one aspect of ELEX that was of great concern for me. The last time Piranha Bytes went for a giant seamless open world, the result, well, let's let the brilliant Dermot Paradox describe it in his review of Gothic 3.
Hello, here's Gothic 3 in a nutshell. Gothic 3 wasn't just buggy, unpolished and unoptimized, it was unfinished. It's pretty much the difference between a car with unbalanced tires and a car with no tires, no engine and brick walls instead of airbags. So yeah, it really feels they decided to create something that was way too big for them, and when they realized the thing that just didn't work, well, it was too late.
Now, while I actually disagree with his assessment of Gothic 3 on the whole, I honestly think it's a great game once you apply about 8 years worth of free hard labor patches by a team of loving fans. The actual launch, the only thing that seems to matter in this era of fast food gaming, was pretty much an unmitigated disaster. As of this video, we're still 4 months and a week away from release, so I can't say what the technical state of ELEX will be. But I think even this far away, it's safe to say we'll be nowhere even close to Gothic 3's unfortunate condition. Although the crash during the PC Gamer Expo didn't exactly inspire confidence in me.
Workers are basically the worst enemy of the Alps who want to just freeze everything, and they're going back to bring it back.
So we talk about freezing everything. You're running away, Florian, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the other hand, Polygon's gaslighting article about how ELEX will be a disaster because the game had some enemies who were too hard had the opposite effect. Also, does anybody actually read Polygon anymore? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you read Polygon? Anyway, for the purpose of this overview, I'm going to assume everything that PB has said will hold true and work as intended. Please prove me right, guys. And here we finally are. Open world design. There is an enormous amount to cover here, and PB seems to be releasing more info and clips on a daily basis, which is why this video has taken so long. Let me just rattle off the facts I've amassed, and then we'll look at the element that I consider most important in depth afterwards. ELEX will be 1.5 times the size of Gothic 3, or about equal to Skyrim, have no load screens at any point, well, aside from the first, obviously. Will house 5 unique climates with independent textures, assets, ecosystems, flora and fauna, population, sound effects, etc. Will have several huge cities with their own laws, culture, and population. And excitedly, side note, it sounds like the beloved city liberations from Gothic 3 will return to at least one of the cities in the game, possibly more. Will have hugely varied verticality, several different elevations based on the terrain that when mixed with the jetpack will yield exploration like never before seen in an RPG, and I'm not just trying to sell this product. I mean, I honestly can't think of anything that has the sort of exploration that ELEX will have in an RPG. And of course, there's a full day-night cycle, which I usually wouldn't even mention, except that BioWare seems committed to avoiding them these days for some reason. And has more than 300,000 words of dialogue, all of it fully voiced in English, German, and Polish, and subtitle translated into tons of other languages. And finally, the open world mechanics, which is what interests me the most as far as open world design goes, and hopefully won't bore you too much. I'll try to make it as interesting as possible, but no promises. So for starters, ELEX will have no level scaling at any point. This has never been implemented in any PB game, so obviously it's not going to start here. While this was almost completely unheard of during the days of Oblivion and Fallout 3, this really isn't too remarkable these days. Heck, if even Bethesda is cutting back on level scaling, you know it's gotta be the preferred method by most gamers today. What's special about ELEX is the other things. For one, the game will have no randomized loot. Every single piece of loot will be hand-placed, and its quality will be in relation to the amount of work you had to do to get it, such as the difficulty of the enemies you had to fight, or the skill checks you had to get past, stuff like that. From what I can tell, there will be no level-based damage systems. Everything will be predicated on character statistics and player skill in relation to who you're fighting. Look, I enjoyed The Witcher 3, but I'd also be lying if I said the level buff combat was anything better than painfully average. No respawns. No Drowner Hopes where you can infinitely farm XP. What you see is what you get, and the world bends to your whim, not a random number generator. And finally, and this is going to seem like a completely ridiculous thing to bring up, but to hopeless nerds like me, it's a pretty big deal, everything in the game has full pathfinding. There will be no enemies stuck in limbo around a 40-foot radius, enemies can climb steps and ladders, and NPCs can even wear jetpacks and follow you around. Whew. Well, I think that about covers everything I wanted to talk about as far as the open world design of ELEX goes. If I missed something, please let me know in the comments down below. Sorry about how long this video took to come out. I promise that the fourth and final part in the series, which will be about combat, will be out much, much sooner. Promise. Pinky swear. Oh, but one other thing. Before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the guys who run worldofelex.com. It's basically my homepage these days, and it's pretty much where all my research, and embarrassingly a lot of my footage, for this game starts, and probably ends too. So go check it out, and subscribe to their YouTube page, because they're awesome. Bye.